The Therapeutic Goods Administration is urging the government to address what's been labelled a health emergency by introducing tough new measures on vaping, including import bans and mandatory prescriptions for use. The government is working on reforms to curb rising youth vaping rates and an out-of-control black market. But not all health professionals agree with the TGA's approach. And joining us now is Dr. Colin Mendelsohn, founding chairman of the Australian Tobacco Harm Reduction Association and author of the book Stop Smoking, Start Vaping. All right, we kind of get an idea of where you're sitting here with the title of that book. Why are you opposed to crackdowns?
Well, it's not just me, Neralda. I take the same view as the United Kingdom Royal College of Physicians, the National Health System in the UK, the British Medical Association, the New Zealand Ministry of Health. What we've found is that crackdowns don't work. I mean, we know that prohibition has next to no effect on the supply of illegal drugs. It certainly doesn't eliminate them. And crackdowns by law enforcement and policing have minimal effect in the long term of drug supply in the community.
So you need a prescription to have nicotine vapes. How many people who use nicotine vapes have a prescription?
Well, that's the problem. The government introduced this legislation to encourage people to get a prescription and see a doctor, get some medical support, and to keep these products away from kids. And what's happened is that consumers have rejected that model. So about 10%, 8% of vapers have a prescription, so 90% buy them from the black market.
So doesn't that mean then you need to control the black market, and by doing that control the supply, which would then make sense to kind of ban imports?
They're already banned. They're already banned. The only way to eliminate a black market is to replace it with a legal, legitimate one. And the black market will thrive if there's a demand and people want a product. It will thrive, whatever we do. And we've seen that repeatedly with other... You know, we've banned heroin, we've banned cocaine, amphetamines. They come in without any concern.
And what about vaping for children? We've seen an explosion in the number of children. We hear schools, you know, shutting down bathrooms during class time so that kids don't go and vape. And there are parents that just don't know what to do, but if they can limit the supply of vapes, then they're hoping that that will do the trick. So that's exactly what the TGA is doing.
Well, it's not going to have that effect. So vaping isn't for young people. It's an adult quitting aid. So it's an adult consumer product and it shouldn't be available to kids. The good news is that most vaping by kids who've never smoked is experimental and short-term and probably does very little harm. Some get addicted, sure, and with long-term use there are potential risks. But most of the harms that we're concerned about with kids, there is some nicotine dependence, are not seen. And the only way to cut that supply is to reduce the black market, because that's where it's coming from.
So what are your suggestions? You've submitted to the TGA?
Yeah, so, look, it's really quite simple. We need to make these products available for adult smokers. Vapes are the most effective quitting aid we've got for adult smokers, and they should be available.
But don't they just replace one known evil, cigarettes, with another lesser known evil that might cause also harm?
Now, what they do, most of the harm from smoking is from the 7,000 chemicals and toxins in high doses in smoke. In vapour, there's perhaps 100 chemicals in very small doses. So, yes, people continue to have a nicotine addiction, but they're not going to die from all the chemicals in smoke. So, yes, we're replacing a nicotine source from a cleaner source. So, and it's the most effective treatment. It's at least 95% safer than smoking. So we want people... these products are life-saving.
You've got some vapes in your hand there. But can I just ask you one question? Are you taking any benefits at all from cigarette or e-cigarette companies?
Absolutely. I've been working in this field for 40 years, and my concern is public health. I've never been paid by tobacco or e-cigarette companies. Absolutely not. And I take the same view as all other Western countries. I mean, Australia is the outlier. So I'm not the outlier, Australia is. And in all other Western countries, New Zealand, the UK, they encourage people who can't quit to vape. And what we want is to avoid young people having access to these illegal, unregulated, high-dose nicotine products. And through a regulated, licensed market, we expect that will be greatly restricted.
Dr. Colin Mendelsohn, thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it.